The drive to the hospital was quiet. Too quiet. Ashman kept his eyes on the road while I sat beside him. My fingers tightly wrapped around my handbag. My heart was restless, heavy with fear and uncertainty. I kept praying silently inside my heart. Ya Allah, let everything be fine. When we arrived at the hospital, several tests were carried out on Ashman. Blood samples, examinations, questions from nurses and doctors. Then we waited. The waiting felt endless. Every passing second tightened the anxiety in my chest. Finally, a nurse stepped out and called us into the doctor's office. Mr. and Mrs. Ashraf, please have your seats, the doctor said calmly. We sat down. I turned slightly toward Ashman and immediately noticed how uneasy he looked. Sweat rested lightly on his forehead, despite the cool air in the office. His fingers moved nervously against each other. Ashman, are you okay? I asked quietly. Yeah, I'm fine, he replied, but he didn't look fine at all. Before I could think further, the doctor cleared his throat. Mrs. Ashraf, he began carefully. The last time you came here, your test results showed that medically and biologically, you are perfectly healthy. I nodded, slowly. That was why I requested for your husband to come in, for evaluation as well. My heartbeat quickened. The doctor looked down briefly at the file before continuing. From the results, he said slowly, it appears that Mr. Ashraf cannot father a child. For a moment, everything around me stopped. I stared at him blankly. I don't understand, I whispered weakly. But he already has a child with my co-wife. My voice trembled. Doctor sighed softly. I cannot explain that, he said honestly. That is something you may need to discuss with your co-wife. Then his gaze shifted toward Ashman. But Mr. Ashraf, the doctor continued carefully. You don't seem surprised by these results. Silence. Heavy silence. That was when I truly looked at Ashman. His head was lowered, his expression guilty, ashamed. And suddenly, everything became clear. He already knew. Ashman, I called weakly. Why aren't you saying anything? But he remained silent. Not even denying it. Not even looking at me. And in that moment, something inside me shattered. Without another word, I grabbed my handbag and stood up abruptly. Atiya, Ashman called after me. But I couldn't stay there. I couldn't breathe there. I walked out immediately. I didn't wait for him. I didn't let him take me home. Outside the hospital, I called a cab and returned home alone. When I entered the house, I met Layla sitting comfortably in the parlor. The moment she saw me, she frowned slightly. Where's Ashman? She asked. I didn't answer her. Not even a glance. I walked straight upstairs to my room. Once inside, I locked the door and sat heavily on the bed. My mind was completely blank. Too many emotions at once. Shock, pain, betrayal, confusion. I didn't even know what hurt me more. The truth itself, or the fact that Ashman had hidden it from me all this time. I sat there motionless, staring into nothingness. I don't know how long passed before I heard a knock on my door. Atiya. Ashman's voice came softly from outside. Please, can I come in? I didn't answer. The door remained locked. I need to explain everything, he said again. Still I stayed silent. If I was going to hear any explanation, then It would happen in front of everyone. Not privately. Not anymore. Not long after, the Atayan Fazur echoed through the house. The familiar sound calmed me slightly. I stood up. Slowly, went to perform ablution, and spread my prayer mat. As I stood before Allah in prayer, I felt completely lost. For the first time in a long while, I didn't even know what to ask for anymore. After praying, I picked up my phone and called Hajia Seda. Assalamu alaikum, Mama, I greeted quietly. Wa alaikum salam, Atiyatullah, she replied warmly. Mama, we need to discuss something urgent. If possible, please come over. Her tone immediately changed with concern. What happened? She asked. It's not something we can discuss over the phone. I replied softly. Please come. She paused briefly before agreeing. All right, I'm on my way. After ending the call, I tried reaching Baba, but he was out of the country for a business trip. Without hesitation, I called Ummi too. As usual, she was unavailable. She was attending some women's forum meeting and said she wouldn't be able to make it. I didn't explain anything to either of them. I wanted them to hear everything themselves. A while later, I heard Hajia Sada's voice downstairs. Quickly, I changed into something more comfortable before heading down. When I entered the sitting room, everyone was already there. Ashman, Layla, Hajia Seda, and me. The atmosphere was tense. I sat down quietly and finally explained everything from my hospital visit weeks ago to today's results. When I finished speaking, Hajia Sadai simply sighed deeply, a tired sigh, the kind that already carried hidden truths. My chest tightened immediately. Mama, I said slowly, did you already know about this too? She lowered her gaze, briefly before looking back at me. Atiyatullah, my dear. She began softly. I am very sorry. Pain flashed through me instantly. I should have told you earlier, she continued, especially when you decided to remain in this marriage and bear children for Ashman. Her voice carried guilt. But when Layla became pregnant, I truly believed it was a miracle. I stared at her silently. The doctors once said the possibility of Ashman fathering a child was extremely low. She admitted quietly. So when Aisha was born, I believed perhaps Allah had changed his condition. She sighed again. And I hoped, maybe you would conceive too. I couldn't speak. I felt betrayed all over. Again, not just by Ashman, but by everyone. Slowly, my gaze moved toward Layla. Surprisingly, she didn't look shocked either. No confusion, no disbelief, nothing, which meant she already knew too. I sat there quietly, staring at all of them. My chest tightened painfully. Too many questions filled my mind. Questions about Ashman, about Layla, about Aisha, about everything. And this time, I wanted answers. All of them.